My first guest tonight is a noted philosopher, metaphysician, and podiatrist. He appears every Saturday evening right here in New York, the town so nice they named it twice, at the 13th Street Theater. Please welcome the one and only Brother Theodore. Theodore, how are you? Pleasure to meet you. Theodore. You look good. Thank you very much for being here. Tell me, I always like to clear up this introduction. Philosopher, metaphysician, and podiatrist. Is that true?
David, David, my tongue is not long enough to give you a full account of what's really going on. Tonight you will have to unlearn all and everything you have ever learned before. All of your information is misinformation, and what you people call science is really nothing but an organized system of ignorance. I say to you most earnestly, it is far more important to go to heaven than it is to go to the moon. But what do we know about heaven? What do we know about the beyond? Do we know what's behind the beyond? I'm afraid some of us here hardly know what's beyond the behind. Yeah. Creatures of twilight and illusion, we drift toward our unknown ends. And that's why I feel the best thing is not to be born. But who is as lucky as that? To whom does it happen? Not to one among millions and millions and millions and millions of people. I'm telling you, in these days of darkness and doubt, in these days of crisis, in these days of confusion, what the world needs is a truly great soul. I am that soul. I am a cosmodynamic personality walking through life in beauty and eternal youth. I'm in the prime of my senility. Now, here on television, I probably look like a pile of mud, but that's only because television is still in its infancy. I am what you might call a controversial figure. People either hate me or despise me. They would rather shake the devil by the tail than shake me by the hand. But with every failure, David, with every failure, my reputation grows. One of these days, you'll see my picture on every postage stamp. One of these days, I'll Theodorize the world.
Is that a Ban-Lon shirt?
Yeah, it's a Ban-Lon shirt. Yeah, it's a Ban-Lon shirt.
I'm sorry.
I know you were. Now, I know exactly what you were doing. You were making fun of me because you felt I got a cheap laugh at your expense, weren't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Well,
I'm squirming with delight to meet an intellectual colossus.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations.
Uh-huh. And
He
now,
knew why I was annoyed.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your background.
My background. I come from an extremely bad stock. The members of my family were mostly punks. Punks, blockheads, fishwives, vegetarians, triplets, nail biters. But I have always been happy. I was born in Upper and Lower Bavaria. 2 years after the discovery of dirt, I grew up a child prodigy. At the age of 6, my second novel had been published. Before I was 10, I could change my own diapers.
Yeah. By
By the time I was 11, I knew how to wave bye-bye. Now, tonight, all of a sudden, my telephone rang. I never answer my telephone unless it rings. It was a member of your staff who asked me, out of the blue,
Who was it? Do you know the man's name? Was
Yes.
it a man?
Yes, it was a man.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to
I just want to know the name to make sure it really was a member of our
Robert
staff.
Morton.
Yes, he's on the staff.
He's on the staff. And out of nowhere, he insisted that I should come here and tell you about my last encounter, my final, ultimate encounter with Liselotte Bindel. Now, I hadn't slept all night long. I had a murderous toothache. I had an appointment with my dentist. And I don't like in the last minute, when maybe some other guest moves out, let's phone the freak Theodore. You know?
Oh, I see. Your feelings are a little hurt. You feel like maybe we used you, took advantage of
You
you.
misused me,
Misused
David.
you? No, I don't. Gee, I don't think so. We call everybody at the last minute. Everybody here tonight, we got a hold of, I
David,
guess, 4:45.
I'm sorry to say that in public. You are a pathological liar.
No. I'll tell you what, you're going to do a little of what you do in the theater for us tonight. Is that correct?
Well, that's what I was ordered to do.
No.
Liselotte Bindel. She and I were cousins, and we grew up together in my family's old mansion in the forests of Bavaria. But we grew up differently. I was ill of health, always wrapped in gloom, while she, swift, nimble, graceful, roamed through life, plucking its flowers. Liselotte Bindel, hauntress of my dreams, your wind-blown hair, your witching eyes, your fragrant lips, your lovely young form. Liselotte, hauntress of my dreams, your lovely young form, your lovely young form. Athlete's foot! Yes, a sudden fit of athlete's foot befell her. Took hold of her feet, her body, her mind, and her habits, and in a manner most subtle, most hideous, corrupted the very essence of her being. Ladies and gentlemen, in the brightest days of her beauty, I had never desired her at all, but now a sickly, frenzied passion for that itchy chick began to obsess me. An incomprehensible craving. And in an evil moment, I brought up the question of necking. Liselotte, my love, am I your little sunshine? Are you going to molest me? Buchweizengrütze, she said. And I still didn't know where I stood. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I could only stare at her. Her hair was of a dank yellow and fell over her temples like sauerkraut. Her face was sweaty like a chunk of rancid pork and covered all over with pipple popples and slushy pips. And from her nose unto her chin, the worms crawled out. The worms crawled in. And as I stared and stared, her lips, her thin, shrunken lips parted, and in a smile of maiden modesty, her teeth revealed themselves to me. Her teeth! The moving of a curtain, the closing of a door, Liselotte Bindel had left the room, but my mind still clung to the image of her teeth. Not one speck on their surface, not one shadow on their enamel had escaped me. They had burned themselves into my memory. They had bitten themselves into my brain. They were small, narrow, pointed, cold and capricious. They glistened like rusty nails in the moon. Those teeth, those glittering teeth, those luring, quivering, beckoning, promising pearls of teeth. They were my destiny. They are my destiny. Liselotte Bindel, slut, psycho, the hell with her. You can have her with bells on. She's yours. I want her teeth. I want them now. And I'm going to rip them out myself. Rip them out. 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 Rah, 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 blah. I am not well, my friend. Not well at all. The only thing that keeps me alive is the hope of dying young.
Theodore, thank you very much. Thank you. Some theater, isn't it? We'll be right back after station identification.